Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Mojisola Meranda, has denied rumors suggesting that she has resigned. Miranda's chief press secretary, Segun Ajiboye, debunked the rumor on Wednesday. "I am in the office. The speaker is in the office. I don't know where that is coming from. This is the handiwork of mischief makers working for the impeached speaker, Mudashiru Obasa, who have been commissioned to spread fake news on social media to mislead the public and maintain pressure on the current leadership of the House. We are aware of this and it will not succeed," the aide stated. The aide further explained that the latest resignation rumor stems from a fake resignation letter originally circulated on Monday by paid bloggers. "I urge members of the public to ignore such reports as they are fake, unfounded, and without any iota of truth," Ajiboye said in a chat with newsmen. The clarification is coming on the heels of viral reports alleging that the newly appointed speaker had resigned. A circular dated February 17, 2025, allegedly released by Meranda, had also been trending for 2 days with the content claiming she had resigned. However, checks on the letter circulating on social media showed it wasn't signed by anyone. Recall that Lagos State Assembly had been rocked with a leadership crisis since the former speaker, Obasa, was removed by the majority of the lawmakers at the House. Reacting to the removal, Obasa dared his colleagues, insisting that he remains the Speaker of the State Assembly. Addressing a crowd of his supporters at his official residence at GRA Ikeja, Obasa, who represents Agege, insisted that his impeachment did not follow due process. According to him, Miranda's election as the new speaker did not follow the law, declaring his removal null and void. The embattled lawmaker alleged that a fake mace was used to install Meranda as speaker, adding that hundreds of policemen invaded the assembly on the day of his removal to intimidate his loyalists.
Well, for me, what's happening in Lagos is really pathetic. It's something that really calls for urgent attention, either from the president, because as it stands, nobody even knows what is happening in Lagos as per no form of intervention. Then secondly, the ousted speaker, for me, is seeking self-help. And when you resort to self-help, it's always counterproductive. The courts are there. Let him go for interpretation. Let him go for robust litigation. I think that's the better way.
But you are taking the matter to court.
Then let him allow the court in its wisdom decide what happens rather than seeking self-help. Because seeking self-help amounts to breach of public peace.
Well, to a large extent, he is saying that one of his grounds, according to him, he said that they did not follow due process. Now, that plenary held when I think he said they were in recess, and he was abroad. So that plenary held in his absence. Now, the question I would ask now would be, who convened? Well, is it not the speaker that convenes the House?
It's the speaker that calls the House. But in his place, if the speaker is not around, depending on the reason for his vacation, I think if he hands over to his
The question
deputy,
would be, did Obasa hand over? Now, he did not hand over. If he did not hand over, who convened the House?
let him go to the courts. The courts are there.
I am looking at the things that could lead to the level of anger that Obasa is displaying. Now, I know that the speaker convenes the House. It is also the speaker that adjourns the House. And in a situation where the House is, the House is not sure as to when they will convene again, they can adjourn sine die. But in this instance, if Obasa says or is claiming that he was not in the country when this House convened and that plenary that impeached him happened, who convened the House? With what power did that person convene the House? That is one question. The second question, if they were in recess, how suddenly did the House convene during recess? And how come it was done conveniently when Obasa was not in the country? These are the questions that are begging for answers.
And for me, I think I want to follow it logically. Whilst I want to follow it logically, fine, the House order or the order of the House is there. That's the other thing. So they should look at it vis-a-vis in line with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And the best place where this will be properly interpreted still remains the court. Rather for him first seeking self-help, then trying to do certain things that are also prejudicial. I know any matter that has gone into prejudice, the next thing is to whip up sentiments and public. Everybody knows that the court of public opinion does not solve issues. Where issues are properly solved is the court of competent.
Have you seen any political crisis at any point? And then have you heard or seen any political crisis, whether at the local, at the state, at the federal level, relating to any arm of government? Have you seen any political crisis that does not come to public court? Regardless of the fact that matters are being taken to court. In the first instance, this also brings another question, or begs another question. Why do actors in political quagmires refuse to respect and obey court orders?
First, any matter that gets to the apex court, they usually respect the apex court. The apex court orders. Like the case of Peter Obi, wrongful impeachment as governor of Anambra State. He went to court, the matter got to the apex court, and he returned. The case of Ladoja, Joshua, these are cases that are clear. So let's Obasa get.
Are you aware of a particular case of a governor who later won in Supreme Court when he could not return?
No, I'm not aware. Which governor?
I think he was incarcerated at that point in time.
Who is the governor?
And he said, okay, that he has gotten the judgment, but he cannot return to be governor because he's been incarcerated. It's South governor, actually. South governor. So
blessed memory.
You can actually you can actually do your research.
No, but
when justice comes too late. Justice can come, but it might come too late.
But first, get justice. When I say get justice, this peace, interest, and security of a state far supersedes your personal interest.
Yes.
So if Obasa's interest is about the speakership, then he should also consider Lagos. Does Lagos need this kind of tension? Let him go to court. Let the court decide what happens.
Well, one of the things that when Obasa was speaking, one of the times he was speaking about this crisis and this impeachment, he said having ambition to be the governor of Lagos State is not a crime.
It has never been a crime.
Now, he is also alluding part of the crisis, that he's facing currently, as I have an ambition to be governor, right? And when Atiku was speaking, accused the president of interference in state politics and state matters. Do not forget at the same time that Sheyi Tinubu's name has been coming up. Some groups have been testing the waters. I would say that probably they are testing the waters to see the level of acceptance of Sheyi Tinubu running for governor of Lagos State. And Obasa, on the other hand, who is popular to a large extent in Lagos, also signifying interests in running for Lagos State. When you look at all these things, do you think there is more to meet the eye? Obasa's impeachment and being in his embattlement right now, do you think that there is more to this than, meets the eye?
Of course, there is no ocean surge without an undercurrent beneath. So 2027 might be part of the undercurrent beneath. That's what's causing this tension. I assume, though without even conceding, but that's what my sixth sense is telling me. I stand to be corrected, but everything is tilting towards 2027, the battle and supremacy.
Alignment and realignment.
For 2027.
So now you think that when you say the battle for supremacy, which means anybody that it's possible that threats will be taken care of ahead of time to ensure a smooth sail into the promised land.
Of course.
As it were.
Of course. But for me, like I always say, people should learn how to choose their battles wisely. You don't fight on all fronts. You don't fight in every sector.
You don't fight on all fronts. You don't fight in every sector. Now, when it comes to Lagos State Assembly crisis, what exactly do you mean by that? That appears to be more like an idiomatic expression.
Yeah, the Lagos State Assembly crisis, like I said, there's no smoke without fire. All we need to do now is to get down.
Well, Obasa has been accused of high-handedness. You recall one time, I don't know if you were aware, when the governor came to present
I'm aware of that
budget,
incident.
what Obasa actually did,
Yeah,
and then how he even reacted much later when he was called out. Do you think when you, I just remembered, because when you said there is no smoke without fire, do you think this could be the straw that broke the camel's back?
Of course. I know something must have transpired. And the high point of it was that budget presentation where he kept the advisory council, the elders advisory councils waiting. And the governor didn't find it funny. Then also the comments he made after then must have also triggered this. So they have discovered... And he was
given room to apologize.
Yeah, he did not. So
could it be a situation where they want to, like, you have to know your limits and stay there?
Of course. That's always the idea of this whole thing. It's more like a game of chess.
But you don't think the impeachment is an extreme move?
Impeachment, an extreme move. Because if they didn't get the support of majority of the members, it wouldn't have seen the daylight of fulfillment.
Okay.
So I believe it was, or it's a collective decision by...
Now, the crisis in Lagos State now, cause a lot to question as to how it appears that the politics in Lagos State, or what gives in Lagos State, appears to be extremely very different from what is obtainable in other states. Because you look at now, the GAC appears to have an overwhelming influence in politics in Lagos State.
Of course.
I'm trying to remember River State having a GAC. Do we have GAC in River State?
In River State, matters are in court. We do.
We do have GAC.
Do. Whoever says there's no issue, that person is being economical.
No, I mean the Governor's Advisory Council.
No, we don't have a Governor's Advisory Council.
Good, because that appears to... The Lagos State has that, and GAC itself is also divided along the line, right? And that begins to bring to mind the independence, the true independence of legislative arm of government at the state level. Can state assemblies say that they are truly independent? When Meranda, emerged as the Speaker of Lagos State House of Assembly, her first move was to go to the GAC, to tell the GAC, I am the Speaker. And that, to a large extent, is solidarity visit. That, to a large extent, is whatever you call it, it's emerging as the Speaker of Lagos State House of Assembly. It's your, are you obligated to the GAC or to your constituency and Lagos State as a whole? Because I am beginning to think, are state houses of assemblies truly independent as they should be in the Constitution?
I think the last time we had an assembly that was somewhat independent, either at the national and state level, was between 1999 and 2003.
Okay.
After 2003, I think the legislature was hoodwinked at both the national and the federal level, and they became a tool in the hands
of the executive.
It's quite unfortunate. It's pathetic, which is not supposed to be so. Given the fact that politics, first, is a game of interest, but you must also have the numbers. If you don't have the numbers to drive your interest, it won't. It will become a pipe dream.
Okay.
So that's the situation which we find ourselves, and it's quite pathetic.
So in this instance, if you want to be as powerful as an executive, you have to get the legislature in your pocket, or at least make sure you lobby the majority of the members of the legislative arm to do your bidding.
I think I remembered something vividly when Mr. President came to River State on a visit when he wasn't yet sworn in.
Okay.
I remember vividly, he said something in that public, say, yes, I owe you nothing. Whatever you want, you must lobby me. So it explains it all.
And then Akpabio also made a statement when he
That-
visited River State, when he was referring to River State crisis, between the executive and the State House of Assembly, and he said that he's wondering how the governor, with the large resources at his disposal, could not lobby. Because he said it, he's wondering how over time he couldn't lobby, at least divide the ranks of the 27 lawmakers and get some to his side.
And this is what has been killing.
So this is the politicking that is going on.
Yes, and it's not healthy for our democracy. But it's supposed to be a proper system where we have these checks and balances. But for me, that checks and balances, it's been compromised to a large extent.
Interesting.